everyone, and welcome to the first news show of 2013. I'm Danny Kelly.
And I'm Olivia Odell. In my opinion, spring is the greatest season of the year. The sun is out, the birds are chirping, and the days are longer. But the best features of spring are the colors the season has to bring. According to Pantone, the world-renowned authority on color, this season's hottest hues for spring 2013 are emerald green, dust blue, tender shoots green, gray jade, lemon zest, African violet, linen, Monaco blue, poppy red, and nectarine. How will you wear these fabulous colors? Pantone colors are always a staple for designers. They apply them to the garments in unique ways, and they send their models down the runway as a prime example of the colors the season has to bring. Speaking of models, I want to mention a Stevens woman whose future is brighter than any color Pantone can predict. Brittany Tutt, a senior integrated media major, was selected to be one of the faces of Maurice's Spring 2013 fashion line. A resident of Don, Missouri, Tutt was chosen as one of 12 winners in a nationwide competition of 1,400 applicants. As a winner, Maurice has provided $7,500 for Tutt to donate to a charity of her choice, the Chillicothe Animal Shelter. She is a great example of a Stevens woman.
Yeah, she really is, and we're really lucky to have her on our very own news team.
Definitely. I think it's really awesome that she decided to donate the money to an animal shelter. She really gives hope for humanity.
Yeah, speaking of hope, some girls on campus are giving sheltered dogs a second chance. The opportunity to have dogs on campus is not new to Stevens, but fostering dogs is. As of last year, Stevens officially partnered with Second Chance in Columbia to help dogs break away from the kennel and experience a real home and real love. Several students involved with the program spoke to us about their experiences. Brianna Ponder, a first-year theater student major, fosters a 3-year-old beagle, Lucille. When asked about the program, Ponder says that she's really lucky to get a quiet dog and a relaxed one. Ponder also explained that the fostering program encourages participants to handle many dogs before deciding to adopt one. As for Ponder, she already helped foster 3 dogs, but doesn't plan on adopting one because she already owns 4 dogs back home. Alexandria Prestia Turner, a first-year performing arts major, was originally a cat fosterer but decided to help foster a dog. Alexandria fell in love with the Chihuahua Terrier mix. She said that the previous owners had abused the dogs, making it difficult to manage him at first. Fortunately, Second Chance offers training programs to students interested in fostering animals to address these issues. Prestia Turner says that fostering is a nice way to come home to a home with someone happy to see her.
If you'd like to sign up for this program, call the Office of Admissions or email apply@stevens.edu. Now let's kick it down to Colby for more news on our outrageous sensation.
Thanks, Olivia. Last semester, graphic design students were given the task to create a poster for the Outrageous event held here quarterly in Columbia. The poster was to consist of a famous piece of artwork combined with a popular landmark here in Columbia. Creative director Kate Gunn had the difficult task of picking her favorite poster. She was so impressed with the ladies, she picked 4. Kate Rudder, Kayla Jones, Elizabeth Detzel, and myself were the lucky chosen ladies. We're standing here now with sophomore fashion communication major Elizabeth Detzel's poster, which was put up for the month of January. The remaining posters will be placed around Columbia in April, July, October, and for more information, please visit www.outrageousfridays.com. Back to you, Olivia.
Thanks, Colby.
Now on to sports. We are just 2 days away from every man's favorite holiday, the Super Bowl. And for those of you new to the Super Bowl scene, here are the basics. This is the 47th annual Super Bowl hosting the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. The 2 teams will vie for the national competition. You can catch the game at 5:30 p.m. Sunday on the CBS channel. If the football jargon and the die-hard fans intimidate you, don't worry. The clock only runs while the ball is in play. This is why, to some, the game lasts forever. Touchdowns are a good thing, or in some cases bad, depending on which team you're rooting for. A touchdown means a player carried or caught the ball in the end zone, giving the scoring team 6 points on the board. After a touchdown, the team that scored has a chance to kick it between the goalposts for an additional 1 point, or they can run it to the end zone for 2 points. You may see a yellow flag during the game. It simply means a player did something he wasn't supposed to, like interfering with a pass. The one player that you should pay attention to is the quarterback. In this game, also pay attention to the coaches, who are brothers. With those tips, you'll be able to enjoy the highly anticipated game without being totally lost. And remember, when in doubt, just mimic the reactions from other people.
I usually end up basically cheering for the wrong team.
Well, with these tips, you'll be sure to know what's up.
I sure hope so. Well, I was thinking sports. Apparently, there's some football game going on at the next Beyonce concert.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Oh.
Tyler?
The Ravens and the 49ers go head-to-head. Fans also anticipate the halftime performance of Beyonce Knowles, especially after rumors of her lip-singing at the president's inauguration barely a few weeks earlier. According to her Instagram page, B continues to work hard on her upcoming performance. She has been posting pictures of what looked like her rehearsing. In one picture, Beyonce is wearing a Brooklyn Nets t-shirt, stretching. There are also other pictures have been posted on her page of what look like dancers performing and stretching. While her fellow Destiny's Child members, Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams, aren't spotted in the pictures, according to Us Weekly, the trio will be reuniting on stage, performing their Grammy Award-winning Bills, Bills, Bills and Survivor. And they will finish with their new song, Nuclear. B, however, will begin the show alone, opening up with her first solo single, Crazy in Love, featuring hubby Jay-Z. According to Us Weekly, she can't wait to open up the Super Bowl stage and show everyone. The source goes on to say she's ready to knock them dead. Beyonce is obviously more than ready to hush all the rumors and the doubts and rock the halftime show at this year's Super Bowl. So I'll have my popcorn and DVR ready to witness every second of greatness and keep my fingers crossed that Baby Blue Ivy will somehow water her way on the stage. I'm Tyler Polson with the halftime wrap-up. Back to you, Olivia.
Thanks, Tyler.
To segue into our studio interview, we have Haley Johnson, who is sitting down with award-winning international filmmaker Alric Brown about his film, Kinyarwanda. Haley?
Today we have director of the featured film, Kinyarwanda, Alric Brown, in the studio. His film is about the 1994 Rwandan genocide, and it shares the true accounts of 6 survivors. How did you find the subjects for your film?
Well, actually, a friend of mine who was a Peace Corps volunteer, I worked in the Peace Corps in West Africa. He was working in Rwanda, and he introduced me to a genocide survivor, Ishmael Ntiabose. And Ishmael wanted to be a filmmaker, and I actually went to Rwanda to work with Ishmael, and we worked together, and I met several people who had been survivors of the genocide, who had lived through the genocide, and I worked with them to help tell their story. So I was really there to help them.
What was it like to hear the stories?
That was one of the tougher part of the process. If you have to imagine in a country where there's 10 million people and close to 1 million people died, everyone had a story and everyone was affected, and a lot of people lost their entire families. And so having to recount those tales was tough for people. But I didn't go in there and ask for tales of suffering. I just asked them to share whatever story they wanted to share with me. And a lot of people had stories. Some were very funny, some were interesting, some were about romances and love affairs, because even in the midst of something so horrific, life was still going on.
Wow. How has making this film impacted your life?
Rwanda as a country had to go through a real serious process of employing forgiveness into their judicial process. Because if they had tried to get vengeance on everyone, it would have been a back and forth for a very long time, and I don't think they would have gotten anywhere. And so part of the country's healing was for people to take responsibility for their actions and to face either person who might have killed your family. You'd get to face them, and that person would have to ask for your forgiveness. And in that forgiveness process, you know, we live here in the United States, and we hold on to grudges from high school. We have their family members we still don't talk to, and for whatever happened inside of a family. And me personally, I'm still working on forgiveness issues. And so Rwanda, working on this film has given me something to emulate, something to try to aspire to as far as my behavior and how I see the world and treat the world.
Really interesting. How are you hoping that others will react after viewing your film?
Well, one of the things that the mistakes that we make when we see tragedies happening in other countries, we push people away. We say, that's happening over there. That's not me. Those crazy people, they're killing themselves. They're doing this to themselves. There. when I made this film, I was thinking about Rwandans, but I was also thinking about us here in the United States. And I was thinking about people in Latin America and people in Europe and anywhere where there's people who someone is taught to feel inferior and someone is taught to feel superior, and the conflicts that arise, and that we see the potential in ourselves for that type of aggression, that type of anger based on how we've been brought up. And I hope that we will respect humanity, respect life, respect each other, and respect our similarities as opposed to focusing on our differences.
Well, you've definitely given us a lot to think about. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Be sure to check out his film tomorrow. Back to you, Danny.
Thanks, Haley. You know, he had some really amazing opportunities.
He sure did, I agree. The right opportunities can get you farther than what you think. Exactly, that's exactly what Stephen's students are pursuing this year. We're gonna head over to Jessica Langford, and who has the information on summer internships. Jessica, what are you finding?
The start of the second semester marks the halfway point to the end of the year for the students searching for perfect internships. It means the clock is ticking, but not to worry, Stevens College has some great resources. Director of Career Development Amanda Roberts helps all students looking for and applying to any type of internships. Amanda is most definitely a good resource to use and is available for all students. Erica Burst, a business entrepreneurship major and legal studies minor, said, "It wasn't hard finding internships for my major because I network a ton. Professor Zilstra is great about forwarding emails about opportunities." Burst is now interning as a legislative intern at the Capitol in Jefferson City. For those without such connections or the time during the day to consult Career Development Office, it takes a bit of initiative. Still, a variety of companies offer summer internships, opening position for student applicants as early as January. Some of the most helpful website posting internships include internmatch.com, internship.com, and don't forget Stevens' own Optima Resume website. If you've already snagged your dream job, we want to know. Send us your story at stevenslifemagazine@gmail.com. We've also posted links to these internship sites on our website, stevens.edu/stevenslife.
That was great, Jessica. Danny, haven't you already got your internship?
Yeah, you know, I did. I'll be interning at the Big City Bride in Chicago this summer.
That's awesome. I wish you luck in the Windy City.
Thank you.
Missouri as a whole has a mind of its own. Now with Lane, with the bipolar weather. Lane?
Thanks, Olivia. I'm Lane with the weather. The high today is 29 degrees with a low of 25. Don't let that keep you indoors, though. There won't be a cloud in the sky. For the Super Bowl weekend, expect temperatures to be mild with a high Saturday of 42 degrees, partly cloudy, and a 10% chance of rain. For Sunday, look for a high of 43 degrees and a low of 35. Throughout the next week, expect temperatures to be mild in the mid to upper 50s and some major cloud coverage. But hey, at least it's not snow. Across the country, temperatures in New York will only reach a high of 33 today, and they're expecting snow later this weekend. In the Windy City, temperatures are all over the place with a high of 20 today, 29 and snowy on Saturday, and capping off the weekend with a high of 35 and sunny. For those of you making the trek to New Orleans this weekend, expect a high of 74. In Los Angeles, they'll have a high of 71 today and a low of 69. Thanks. Back to you, Olivia.
These temperature waves.
Yeah, not only do you not know what to wear, but it's hard to find fun things to do in Columbia. We'll head over to Angel Mendez, who's found some winter weather activities for us. Angel, what does Columbia have to offer?
Been watching the Super Bowl this weekend. There's not that much fun you can find to do indoors in Columbia, especially with the wind chill and the freezing temperatures that Lane just told us about. But in fact, Columbia does offer a few recreational opportunities. Laser Lane's a new locally owned business, offers bowling and laser tag, along with an arcade, basketball court, and batting cages. And if you're crazy enough to enjoy the cold weather, Steinberg Skating Rink, located in Forest Park, is the largest skating rink in the Midwest. In fact, it's open every day until February 28th. Now, if you don't want to spend money or are brave enough for the freezing temperatures, you can always stay in and watch movies or catch the latest television shows with friends. Shows with new seasons this year include The Walking Dead on AMC, Downton Abbey on PBS, Justified on Fox, and The Carrie Diaries on the CW. But it's not all about staying warm. In fact, it's about looking good for the season too. Sam Geary has the latest on the cold weather fashions.
Thanks, Angel. With the snow falling down to the ground, it's time to bundle up, and you can still look cute with these fashions. Try pairing a bright dress with tights and covering up with the drapey jacket, like Lauren is wearing. You can get this outfit at Swank. Or wear the bright colors of navy and mustard, which are the winter colors, cover it up with a Chanel-inspired jacket. This lace dress and leather blends edgy and sweet. This outfit is from Ellie's and is worn by Morgan. And for a night out, try metallic dress under fur, like this dress from Swank that Christy is wearing. Back to you, Danny and Olivia.
Great story, Sam. As a fashion major, I know how important it is to look cute while the weather might not permit.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thanks for watching our first episode of the semester. Be sure to check back for more news and updates. And don't forget to visit our website, 24-hour access to your news at stevens.edu/StevensLife. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Stevens_Life. I'm Danny Kelly.
And I'm Olivia Adele, and we'll see you back here next week.